Hi, I'm Harry Chalmiers. I'm the president of McNally Smith College of Music, and it's my pleasure to introduce to you today our new artist in residence for the academic year 2012-2013, Jeremy Messersmith. Jeremy, as many of you already know, is a great singer and songwriter, and as many of you may not know, he's also a great educator. He's been on our faculty here for several years, but this year is his professional career has him in such demand that he's not able to do the weekly teaching thing, so we've engaged Jeremy this year to be our artist in residence. So, welcome, Jeremy.
Thanks.
Welcome back.
Yeah. It's like I never left.
Now, unfortunately for us, but fortunately for you, your career, your performance opportunities, things are opening up this fall so much that you really can't be in the Twin Cities as regularly. And as we've talked about your touring plans, they're pretty unusual and really exciting. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, this fall I'll be going on a supper club tour, which is basically house shows. I'll be playing people's houses, in their living rooms, patios, porches, whatever. But with a little bit of a twist, and that's everyone's bringing food. So it'll be kind of a potluck, along with a musical accompaniment. And I'll be doing 3 legs of it through September, October, November, Midwest, West Coast, and then East Coast. And then hopefully I'll be home in time for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that is such a cool idea. Do you know anyone else that's done that on a regular basis?
There are plenty of musicians who do house shows. I don't know many who do like dinner parties.
Mm-hmm.
David Bazan from Pedro the Lion has been making a living and working as a musician for the last several years by doing living room shows, and I felt like that was a pretty great idea and a great way to connect with people in kind of a smaller environment. And I decided I want to do it, but I wanted to put a little bit of my own twist on it. And being an amateur cook and a little bit of a foodie, I thought, hey, why not have everyone bring their best recipes and let's just all sit around and eat food and listen to music.
What a great idea! And I suppose to me, it just speaks of community. I mean, you're really building a relationship. People talk about, you want to build your audience, you want to connect personally with your audience. I mean, you're having dinner with everybody and, presumably a glass of wine maybe or something,
Yeah, it can be really difficult to do sometimes, to build community when you're playing at a club and maybe you only get to interact with people for 20 minutes after your set, and that's kind of it. So hopefully I'll be kind of raising the overall quality of the interactions that I have with people at the shows, and hopefully that's of some value.
We know it's the season of political conventions these days, so politics is a little bit on my mind. It reminds me of this, the former Speaker of the House from Massachusetts, Tip O'Neill, who always said, all politics is grassroots politics. Now, this is not politics, but it's not that different. You want people to vote for Jeremy by being your fan, listening to your music, spreading the word. And this is about his grassroots. I honestly think it's a brilliant idea.
Well, I think it'll work out pretty well. We'll see. Ticket sales have been great so far, so I'm not worried about going broke on the tour or anything. And right now I'm just kind of working on perfecting 2 things, I guess, my set list and my spiced nuts recipe that I'm bringing with.
Which I am happy to say I have been the beneficiary
I tested them on you.
Yeah, and they were spicy indeed, and I like that.
Okay, good.
That. Yeah. So how do you connect with people? How do you book a supper club tour?
Well, I've been pretty good about building an email list for the last few years. And I've done some touring with my band throughout the U.S. So I have kind of like fans and people kind of scattered around all over the place. And when I had the idea for the supper club, I just decided, well, let's just see if there's even any interest, and let's just email everyone. So I sent out an email blast to my email list and said, hey, would you be interested? I'm thinking about doing some house shows. Would you be interested in hosting? And if so, send us a couple photos of your living room. And maybe the capacity, and we'll take a look. And we had tons of responses from
Sure.
all over, and it seemed like people were into it. So we were like, let's do it.
And so what do you need? What are your requirements in terms of capacity and your ticket charge and rates, and how does it work?
Well, I think the minimum capacity is around 30 people or so. I think that's about it. We generally try to look for someplace kind of nice,
Yeah.
And ticket prices, we charge like a little bit more than we might do at a regular club, so it's $15.
But you get to eat.
Yes, well, you get to eat, and I don't end up having to pay, a bartender or the sound man or the venue. So I basically get all of the ticket sales, which is kind of a way to cut out the middleman, and it's a little more economical. I'll be touring solo, which means I won't have any musicians with, and I also won't have a sound system of any kind. So it's just I'll be sitting in a room playing guitar, singing songs while everyone eats some food.
I mean, it's a great idea, I think, and I wish you all the luck with that. I also think of it from the audience perspective as, possibly the ideal way to hear you play, because, I've played a bit of house concert stuff myself, and it's just such an intimate, personal environment, and they can hear the soft. You can get as delicate as you want, as opposed to being in a club where that dictates what you play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think it's such a cool idea. So, I want you to be terribly successful, but of course I want you to be back here on our faculty. But in the meantime, we'll be having Jeremy here doing workshops, master classes, sharing some of his experiences. Because, at this college, we're deeply interested in trying to provide the education that is going to be relevant to students in making a life in music.